All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, we're going deep on T.I.
Oh, this is going to be good.
We're going to be using his Wikipedia article as our source. You probably know some of his big hits, like Whatever You
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah,
there's so much more to him than just those popular songs.
for sure.
Like, is he a product of his environment?
Mm.
Did he create himself? Is he a cautionary tale?
All of the above, maybe.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So first off, this guy has been rapping since he was 8 years old.
Wow, 8 years old.
Yeah, like
Crazy.
growing up in Atlanta, he was totally immersed in what would become like,
Oh, yeah.
a hip-hop powerhouse.
The hip-hop powerhouse, absolutely.
So
Atlanta's influence on hip-hop is massive.
huge. Yeah.
Outkast, Ludacris, Gucci Mane, Future. All these huge names come from Atlanta. It's a breeding ground for some of the biggest names in the genre.
Yeah.
And T.I.'s story is really deeply connected with that legacy.
Yeah, it's like he was just destined to be a rapper.
Right.
And speaking of names,
Yes.
his early name was Tip,
Tip, okay.
but he changed it to T.I. Out of respect for Q-Tip.
Q-Tip. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, from A Tribe Called Quest. What a cool way to
Yeah.
pay homage,
Yeah, for sure. It shows a level of awareness and respect for hip-hop history,
Right.
which I think is really important. But, his journey wasn't all smooth sailing.
Right.
Remember his first album, I'm Serious?
Oh, yeah.
Despite having, big names like Pharrell Williams on board,
Yeah.
it kind of flopped.
I remember hearing about that. It makes you wonder, was it the music? Was it bad timing?
Yeah,
Something else? I mean, breaking into the industry is tough.
absolutely. It's so rare
Yeah.
to see an overnight success story.
Right.
Even the biggest artists.
Yeah.
They face setbacks
Yeah.
early on. What's crucial is how you respond to those challenges.
Yeah.
And T.I., he kept grinding, releasing mixtapes, building buzz independently.
It's a classic hustle story, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, the traditional route's not working, so I'm going to create my own path.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, of course, the collab
Yeah.
that put him back on the map,
Yeah.
Bone Crusher's Never Scared.
What a game changer.
Yeah.
That track was massive.
Yeah.
It not only showcases his talent, but also revealed his resilience.
Right.
He turned a setback into fuel,
Yeah.
which ultimately led to his deal with Atlantic Records.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of a recurring theme in his career.
It seems that way, yeah. It's like he thrives off of that.
Yeah, for sure.
That brings us to trap music. This isn't just an album, it's a cultural phenomenon. Let's hear a little bit of Rubber Band Man.
Oh, yeah.
What was it about this album, about this sound, that resonated with listeners?
I mean, trap music was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Think about what was happening in hip-hop at the time.
Yeah.
T.I. alongside Jeezy and Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
They were painting this raw, unfiltered picture of street life,
Right.
of the trap.
Yeah.
It was a sound and a storytelling style that hadn't really been
Yeah.
explored in such a mainstream way before.
So it's more than just catchy beats, it's the lyrical content.
Absolutely. Yeah, the honesty.
The honesty, yeah.
the rawness.
The rawness. It's no wonder Complex named it one of the classic albums of the last decade.
Yeah.
It redefined a genre. But let's move on to some of his collaborations.
Oh, yeah.
This guy has worked with everyone.
Everyone.
Destiny's Child, Justin Timberlake, Rihanna, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
Endless.
It speaks to his versatility and his ability to connect with
Yeah.
different audiences.
For sure.
So out of all those collaborations,
Yeah.
is there one that particularly stands out to you?
For me, I think it's Soldier
Okay.
with Destiny's Child and Lil Wayne.
Okay, yeah.
It's a perfect blend of pop and hip-hop, and it showcases T.I.'s ability to hold his own alongside strong female voices.
Yeah.
While still appealing to a wider audience.
That's a great pick. What do you think it was about that song that made it work? I mean, was it a risk for him to collaborate with a pop group at that point in his career?
It could have been seen as a risk,
Yeah.
He was still establishing himself as
Yeah.
a major force in hip-hop,
Right.
but I think that's what makes it so fascinating.
Right.
He didn't shy away from expanding his reach,
Right.
from stepping outside of the
Yeah.
expected boundaries,
Right.
and it paid off. Soldier reached number 3
Wow.
on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
So maybe that risk-taking, that willingness to, break the mold
Yeah.
is part of what makes him successful.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor.
Yeah.
But there's another layer to T.I.
Okay.
that we need to explore. He's not just a rapper.
Right.
He's an actor,
Oh, yeah.
an author,
Oh, what?
entrepreneur.
He's a multi-hyphenate.
He really is in every sense of the word.
Oh, what?
Okay, hold on. We're talking about someone who starred in a movie loosely based on his life, ATL,
Yeah.
and then went on to share the screen with Chris Brown, Idris Elba, and Paul Walker in Takers.
Whoa, wait, he was in Takers.
He was in Takers.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
And he's written books, too.
2 novels,
Okay, this is blowing my mind. What are the books?
Power and Beauty and Trouble and Triumph,
Okay.
both drawing on his experiences growing up in Atlanta and navigating the music industry.
It's like getting a glimpse into his mind beyond the music.
Right?
It's fascinating. I'm sensing a pattern here. From those early mixtapes to collaborating with Destiny's Child to writing novels to starring in Hollywood films, he's always pushing boundaries.
Yeah,
Diversifying, reinventing himself.
always pushing forward.
It makes you wonder, like, what drives him? What is the motivation?
It's a good question, one that we'll definitely keep circling back to as we, go deeper into his story. But for now,
Yeah.
let's talk about something that's impossible to ignore. T.I.'s legal troubles.
Right.
He's had his fair share of run-ins with the law, and those events have undeniably shaped public perception of him.
Yeah. There's no way to sugarcoat it. From the 2007 federal weapons charges that landed him in prison to the 2010 probation violation and drug charges, and more recently, the sexual abuse allegations.
Yeah.
It's been a tumultuous journey.
Absolutely.
And it makes you wonder how he's managed to navigate all of this and still maintain a career.
It's a complex issue.
Oh.
And it's important to acknowledge the seriousness,
Right.
the allegations against him.
Yeah.
But, we're not here to judge. We're here to analyze.
Right.
So the question for us is,
Yeah.
how have these legal battles impacted his career?
Right.
Did they, derail him, or did they somehow
Yeah.
fuel his creativity?
It's what's so fascinating about this whole story, right?
Yeah.
He's constantly facing these extreme highs and lows.
No.
Yeah.
Yet he keeps coming back.
He does.
He's got this almost supernatural ability to bounce back from adversity.
Yeah. He's a survivor,
Yeah.
for sure.
And that resilience.
And that resilience is a recurring theme
It is, yeah.
in his life and career. But, let's not forget
Okay.
about his entrepreneurial side.
Right.
Remember his clothing line?
Oh, yeah, AKO.
AKO, yeah.
A king of oneself. I'm curious, what was the inspiration behind that?
Well,
Was it just a merch line?
it was about more than just clothes.
Okay.
It was about empowerment,
Okay.
self-expression, taking control of your own narrative.
That's
It was a reflection of T.I.'s own journey
Yeah.
and his desire to inspire others,
Right.
to embrace their individuality.
That's interesting how he uses his platform to promote these messages of empowerment,
Right.
and especially considering his own personal struggles.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's saying, look, I've made mistakes, I've faced challenges, but I'm still here. I'm still pushing forward.
Pushing forward, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's a curveball.
Okay, curveball.
He also opened a strip club
Oh, yeah.
called V Live.
Be live.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
It is a bit unexpected.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's definitely a controversial choice.
Yeah.
And one that has generated a lot of discussion.
Right,
Some see it as a savvy business move,
Right?
a way to tap into a
Yeah.
lucrative market.
Right.
Others view it as exploitative
Yeah.
and at odds with
Yeah.
his messages of empowerment.
It definitely complicates the narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's another example of how T.I.
Right.
defies easy categorization.
Absolutely.
He's a mix of contradictions.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him so
Yeah,
fascinating.
it really is.
Absolutely.
hmm
To keep reinventing himself.
It's unbelievable. From rapping to acting to writing to running businesses.
Yeah,
He's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
he really is.
Yeah.
And that brings us to his most recent project,
Okay.
the upcoming album, Kill the King. That title, man, that title is loaded.
It is, yeah.
It starts a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Is this his final act? Is he ready to pass the torch
Yeah.
to a new generation of artists?
Ooh, the perfect cliffhanger
Right.
to end part one. We've only just scratched the surface
Oh, yeah.
of T.I.'s
Definitely.
multifaceted.
It's a multifaceted story.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to uncover.
For sure.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Where we'll dive even deeper into
Absolutely.
his world
Yeah.
and try to make sense of it all.
Can't wait. Welcome back. Last time we left off with this whole enigma
Yeah.
of T.I.'s upcoming album, Kill the King.
Right.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like he's challenging his own legacy.
Right.
Maybe even questioning the whole idea of being the king of the South.
There are so many ways to interpret it.
Right.
You know, is he reflecting on the pressure?
Yeah.
Wearing that crown?
Yeah.
Is he ready to step down?
Yeah.
Make way for a new generation of rappers?
Or maybe it's even more personal. Like
Yeah.
he's battling his inner demons.
So interesting.
You know, slaying the parts of himself
Yeah,
that have caused trouble.
I like that. Yeah, it could be a metaphor for self-growth,
Right.
for acknowledging his flaws,
Right.
working towards redemption.
Yeah.
You know, Kill the King
Yeah.
could be about shedding that old persona,
Yeah.
becoming something new.
My mind is racing.
T.I. is not a simple character,
No.
you know, with a clear-cut narrative.
Yeah.
He's a product of his environment,
Yeah.
a survivor,
Yeah.
a hustler,
Yeah.
an artist,
Yeah.
a businessman,
Yeah.
and a flawed human being,
Yeah.
you know?
It's almost like he's constantly evolving.
Yes.
Shedding these old skins,
Yeah.
trying on new ones.
Exactly, yeah,
And that evolution is reflected in his music.
for sure.
Let's go back to trap music for a second.
Okay.
What was it about that album
Yeah.
that made it such a game changer?
Huh.
I think it was the rawness.
Yeah, the honesty.
Yeah, the honesty.
Yeah.
You know, he brought, along with Jeezy and Gucci Mane,
Yeah.
they brought the reality of street life
Yeah.
into the mainstream.
Right.
It wasn't glamorized.
No.
It was gritty.
Yeah. Unapologetic.
Yeah, unapologetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were telling stories that hadn't been told before.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
at least not on such a large scale.
Right.
They gave a voice
Yeah.
to a segment of society
Yeah.
that had often been ignored,
Yeah.
marginalized.
Right. And it wasn't just about the beats.
Yeah.
It was about the message,
The message, yeah.
the survival,
Yeah.
the hustle,
The struggle,
the struggles,
Yeah.
the triumphs
the triumphs, yeah.
of life
Of life in the trap.
in the trap. Yeah.
And it resonated with audiences in
Yeah.
a profound way.
It did.
You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
just a Southern phenomenon.
Right.
It influenced the sound of hip-hop globally.
Yeah. It's incredible to think about the lasting impact
It is.
of that album.
Yeah?
And it wasn't just a fluke.
No.
He followed it up
Yeah.
with a string of hits,
Oh, yeah.
solidified his place as a hip-hop icon.
For sure. From Bring 'Em Out
Yeah.
to Live Your Life to whatever, like,
Yeah.
you know, he was creating these anthems
Yeah.
that crossed over into pop culture.
Yeah.
He had the ability to craft these songs that
Yeah.
were so catchy,
Yeah.
relatable,
Yeah.
even if you weren't familiar
Yeah.
with the world that he was describing.
Yeah.
You know,
He could make you dance,
he could.
make you think,
Yes.
make you feel all at the same time.
all at the same time.
And then, of course, those collaborations.
The collaborations.
We talked about Soldier
Yes.
with Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
But he also worked with Justin Timberlake on My Love, Rihanna on Live Your Life, and Lil Wayne on Swagga Like Us.
Oh, yeah.
These weren't just random pairings.
They were calculated.
These were calculated moves.
Moves that expanded his reach,
Yes.
broadened his appeal.
He understood the power of collaboration,
Yeah.
of bringing different worlds together.
Right.
And it wasn't about selling out.
Right.
It was about breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
Reaching new audiences.
And it's a strategy that a lot of artists have
Still
adopted
been, yeah.
since then. But T.I. was
Yeah.
one of the pioneers.
He was a pioneer, for sure.
And he did it
Yeah.
with style
Yeah.
and authenticity.
Absolutely.
Speaking of authenticity,
Yeah.
let's talk about his acting career.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned ATL and Takers.
But what about
Yeah.
his role in the MCU?
Right.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on his performance in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Yeah.
Was he just a rapper trying to be an actor?
Right.
Or did he actually bring something unique to the role?
I think he surprised a lot of people
Yeah.
with his performance.
Yeah.
He brought a certain charisma
Right.
and that streetwise swagger
Yeah.
to the character of Dave,
Okay.
and he held his own
Yeah.
against some seasoned actors.
Yeah, it wasn't just a cameo.
No, it wasn't just a cameo.
He had a recurring role
Yeah.
in both Ant-Man
Yeah.
and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's clear he took it seriously
Yeah.
and was committed
Yeah.
to developing his acting skills.
He could have easily just phoned it in.
I know.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He saw it as an opportunity to challenge himself,
Yeah.
to step outside of his comfort zone and explore this new
Yeah.
creative avenue.
Exactly.
It's another example
Yeah.
of his relentless drive,
I know, right?
this constant pursuit
Yeah.
of new challenges.
Always pushing forward.
And it seems like that drive
Yeah.
extends beyond music and acting.
Okay.
You remember those two novels he wrote?
Oh, yeah.
Power and Beauty and Trouble and Triumph?
Yeah, it's easy to overlook
Yeah.
his literary work
Right.
amidst all the other things he's accomplished.
That is, yeah.
But those novels,
Yeah.
they offer
Yeah.
a different glimpse
Yeah.
into his mind.
Right.
A more introspective side
Yeah.
that you don't always hear
Yeah.
in his music.
I'm imagining them
Yeah.
being like fictionalized versions of his own life,
Right.
drawing on his experiences
Yeah.
in Atlanta and the music industry.
They definitely draw on his personal experience.
Right. Yeah.
But they're not straight autobiographies.
Right. Okay.
They're stories
Yeah.
about ambition,
Okay.
love,
Yeah.
betrayal,
Okay.
and the complexities of navigating life
Right.
in a world that often feels stacked against you.
It's interesting to consider those themes
know, right?
in relation to his
Yeah.
own life.
Yeah.
He's faced so much adversity,
He has.
poverty,
Yeah.
legal battles,
Yeah.
public scrutiny,
Yeah.
and yet he continues to strive for success,
Yeah.
reinvention,
Yeah.
something more.
Or something more. Yeah.
It's almost like those themes are woven into the very
Yeah.
fabric of his being.
That's what makes him so compelling.
Right,
He's not perfect.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
he's made mistakes.
yeah,
He's faced the consequences, but he keeps getting back up,
yeah,
pushing forward.
yeah,
He embodies that spirit of resilience
yeah.
that so many people identify with.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
that his story resonates
Right.
so deeply with audiences.
Yeah.
He's not just a rapper,
Right.
an actor,
Right.
an entrepreneur.
Right.
He's a reflection of the human condition
Yeah.
with all its
The triumphs,
triumphs and failures,
the failures. Yeah.
complexities and contradictions.
He's a reminder that life is a journey,
Right.
not a destination.
Yeah.
It's the struggles, the
Yeah.
setbacks,
Yeah.
the moments when we
Wow.
have to dig deep and
Yeah.
find the strength
Yeah.
to keep going
Yeah.
that truly define who we are.
And with that profound thought,
Yeah.
I think it's time to move on to part 3,
Okay.
where we'll finally tackle the mystery
Yes.
of Kill the King.
All right, we're back, and it's time to face the music. Literally.
Huh? Yeah.
We spent the last 2 parts unpacking T.I.'s life, you know,
We have.
from his Atlanta roots
Right.
to trap music.
From Hollywood to strip clubs.
It's been a journey.
It's been a wild ride. But it all leads to this. Kill the King.
Right.
His upcoming album. Potentially his final act. What do you think?
I mean, it's a title that just grabs you.
It does, yeah.
After everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
the triumphs, the controversies,
Right.
his constant reinvention,
Right.
it feels like a statement.
It does. I keep going back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Right.
Is this T.I. acknowledging the weight of his legacy?
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe the King of the South title is just too much.
More burden than blessing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So wait,
Like he's tired of it.
that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense given what we know about him.
Right.
He's always pushing boundaries,
He is.
challenging expectations.
Yeah.
So maybe this is him challenging, like the whole idea
Yeah.
of what it means to be a king in hip hop.
Right. But couldn't it also be about making space for new voices?
Oh, interesting.
Like, Kill the King is less about him stepping down
Yeah.
and more about saying, hey, hip hop needs to evolve. It needs to let the next generation in.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It speaks to that like cyclical nature of music, you know?
Right.
How influence is passed down.
Right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time
Right.
that an artist used their platform to elevate others.
Okay, but let's get a little personal for a sec.
Okay, personal.
What if Kill the King isn't about the industry or legacy at all,
Yeah.
but about T.I. himself?
Okay.
Like a battle against his own demons.
Ooh.
You know, the mistakes he's made,
Yeah.
the parts of himself he wants to leave behind.
That's where it gets really fascinating.
Right.
We've talked about his legal troubles.
Right.
The controversies,
Yeah.
the moments where he's, faltered.
Yeah.
What if this album is his way of processing all of that?
Yeah.
Of owning his past,
Right.
striving for something better?
Like a musical exorcism,
Right.
Kill the King could be him confronting those darker impulses, those parts of his personality
Yeah.
that have caused him and others pain.
And by doing so, he might find, redemption.
Right.
Not just in the eyes of the public,
Right.
but within himself.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a powerful idea.
It is.
And I think it fits with the themes of growth,
Yeah.
transformation
Yeah, right.
we see throughout his career.
Okay, so with all these possible interpretations
Right.
swirling around,
Yeah.
honest predictions for the album.
Okay, let's see.
Victory lap. Mea culpa. Reinvention.
I honestly think it's going to be a mix of all those things.
Yeah.
Based on what we know about T.I,
Yeah,
he doesn't do anything halfway.
he doesn't.
This won't be a simple goodbye
Right.
or rehash of his greatest hits.
He's always pushing the envelope.
Always.
So we're in for something raw. Introspective,
Yes.
maybe even a little uncomfortable at times.
Maybe. Yeah.
But that's what makes him so compelling.
Exactly. He doesn't shy away from the tough stuff.
He doesn't.
And that's what makes his music connect.
Right,
Even if you don't agree with his choices,
right.
you can't deny his honesty.
Yeah, yeah.
His willingness to be vulnerable.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question.
Okay, hit me.
Is this really the end?
Ooh.
Is T.I. actually retiring?
He's hinted at it,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
I'm skeptical.
right,
In hip-hop, retirement,
right.
it's rarely permanent.
It's fluid, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he steps back from the spotlight,
Yeah.
I doubt that creative drive just disappears.
You're probably right. There's a hunger in him.
Yeah.
There's a constant need to prove himself, to evolve.
Yeah.
That doesn't just go away.
I agree.
But hey, maybe that's the ultimate kill the king move. Walk away on his own terms while he's still at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, now that would be a power move.
It would.
But regardless of what the future holds,
Yeah.
I think this album will be a defining moment.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of everything we've talked about.
It is.
The highs and lows,
Right.
the good and the bad,
Yeah.
the contradictions
Yeah.
that make him who he is.
It's been a wild ride exploring his life, hasn't it?
He really has.
From Atlanta's streets to the global stage,
I know.
prison cells to red carpets.
He's done it all.
He has defied categorization
He has.
every step.
And that's what makes him so interesting, right?
It is, yeah.
T.I. is a reminder that there is no single narrative,
Right.
no easy answers.
Yeah.
When it comes to human complexity,
Right.
he's a mix of light and shadow,
Yeah.
ambition and regret,
Yeah.
talent and controversy.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listener to take away?
What's the essence of his story?
Yeah.
I want them to remember that even with someone as public as T.I, there's always more to the story.
Right.
His life is a testament to resilience,
Yeah.
to the power of reinvention,
Right.
and the enduring allure of,
Yeah.
a flawed human being striving for something more.
Beautifully said. And for you, our listener, we encourage you to go beyond the headlines, beyond the hits, explore T.I.'s world for yourself. Listen to his music, watch his films, read his words, and decide what his legacy means to you. Until next time, keep diving deep.